Morning everybody, welcome back to Stan's World. And today I'm going to try to give you an update on my Shanty Searay bill. It's slow go. Man, it's been so hot lately I just haven't been into it. I mean, I'd be lucky if I can get an hour a day. And I started grinding out that transom. One side of it was just totally rotten. I just raked it right out. A lot of it was that way, but the top half looks good from the outside, but when you get through the good, it's rotten again on down deep. And I got over an inch and a half in that I gotta grind out, cut out, chip out, and be real careful not to mess up my transom while I'm at it, you know. But yeah, it's coming along, but we've got a lot of grinding to do. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to videotape this grinding and all this because it's just, it'll mess my camera up. But I will take pictures of it and update you where I'm at. I'm going to show you where I'm at now on it. I got the transom just about stripped. And I'm just about down to the point of where I've got to mask up, put my suit on, and get in there and just really get nasty with that grinder one day. And it's going to take basically all day just grinding and getting it ready to start fiberglassing. And then I'll have to go get my wood, which I've been debating on what to use for stringers and all this kind of stuff. And I've been watching everybody else's videos, and there's so many questions. It's a big job, but it's coming on. Let me show you what I got out here. I got everything together just about. And let me show you where we're at. Right there is pretty much all my supplies. Everything is going in my boat. There's my mask, and there's my glue, and there's my chop, and my 1708, and all my fiberglass resins in the office where it's cold. There's my windlass anchor thing, and there's my grill, and there's my lights, and I mean everything. There's my wireless stereo, and new fuel pump, and CB radio, and marine radio. Everything's there. Going in my boat. We walk on over here. As you can see, there's the motor and all the stuff that goes in. Then outside out here sits the rest of it. And I gotta work on this. I gotta put the bellows in there and the new gimbal bearing. You know, this thing wasn't rotten a few years ago. It didn't rot till I put the depth finder in there. Put that depth finder in there. I don't think I plugged the holes up. And that's when it all started. Because I checked this transom good 3 or 4 years ago when I had the motor out last time, and it was not this way. Let's crawl up in here. Let me show you what we got in here. We're fixing to grind on this thing today. We're gonna put a full day in it today. Full day in it today. As you can see, I have been working. I have the whole transom out. I'm all the way down. I'm all the way down to fiberglass here. It looks like wood, but that's just a real thin layer. But see how thick it is. And that's rotting on down in there. Down in there, it's rot. And it's just a slow go. I've been using that little gizmo right there. That seems to work the best and cause the least amount of damage to my fiberglass and everything. And between that little tool there and that little tool right there, then I got a bigger grinder also. And then I got a die grinder. And we got to pull these wires loose and move them up forward. But we got to grind all that out there. And we got to grind all of it down in here. And then the motor mounts, they come out last. I've already got it drawn up, but I'm going to wait for the last thing to cut them up. I'm going to cut them up last. Got to grind all around the edge there. That box has got to be cut off and ground down. I got a lot to do. You can see I still got a lot to do. But it can be done in a week or two. Up in the front, you got to cut all that out, because the stringer's got to go all the way up to that bulkhead right there. Then we'll have another bulkhead right here, and another bulkhead here, and we'll space them out. And since the gas tank was in here before, it's going to be up here under my sink, under my kitchen cabinet. I'll have to brace up the floor a little more right in here. But other than that, it's coming right along. I know it looks like a mess, but you know, that's part of projects. And right now, this is my only project other than what little work I do in my shop, which ain't very much. But yeah, I've had this boat myself. Shit, I've had this boat for 10 years myself. So, and it's probably been rotten for 10 years. I just didn't know it. Well, actually, I did know it. I come in here and I replaced these. Well, I didn't replace them. I did a half-assed job. Is what I did 10 years ago. But all I did was took out the gas tank and I just replaced the rotten wood. I didn't look for any more rotten wood. That's where I screwed up at. I didn't look for any more rotten wood. I just took out what I seen and replaced it and covered it back up. You know, and it worked for 10 years. I mean, you know, and it's still working. I just did this because I'm modifying the boat. If I wasn't changing the boat over, I'd probably still be using it the way it was. Like a dummy, the hole in the gas tank and a rotten boat. All right, that's about where we stand at on it, you know. That's about where we stand. Got a lot of grinding. That right there is going to come off today. All that's going to come off today, and I'm going to get that all prepped and get it all ready, and then go get my wood and put my new transom on. As soon as I get the new transom on, then I can start all this grinding mess. Well, today's a good day to get in the boat and work. It's overcast, it's not going to be hot. We have just about got this transom dug out. You know, it's kind of funny about this transom because when I started this, the side that was obviously soft on the other side there, you could, once I cut the fiberglass off of it, I just raked the wood right off of my hand. I mean, it was so rotten. It just came right off. And I'll show you where that was at right here. It was right here. This whole side over here. I just raked it right off of my hand. I mean, the wood just came right off. And this, about halfway up on it, was wicked. And this over here was wicked up about halfway too. And it looks good on the outside, but once you get that hard cover off, it's rotten again on the inside. Not really bad, but it's not real good. And what gets me about this boat is this side over here is real smooth all over. You know, I just peeled the wood off of it. Got about a 1/2 inch thick fiberglass. You know, but this side over here, man, it's pitted. I mean, it's got holes in it. Look at this right here. It's bad. It's in bad shape. And that was that way from the factory. That's never been replaced before. That wasn't even stuck to the wood. I mean, man, they did real shitty work back in the 80s. I'm telling you. At least Searay did anyway. But once I get this all off, I'm going to get this off today. I am going to buy my wood and make me a new transom. Get it glued and glassed in. Then I'm going to sand all that shit out all the way up through there and put the new stringers in all the way down. I'm going to wait to the very last thing I'm going to do is grind them out because I got to get some dimensions off of them from the floor up so I can make sure that they're back into the same way. But that's where we stand at right now. We're gonna get that off. We get that off today, and we can go get our wood. I'm gonna put 1 3/4 inch piece. In that center, I'll have 2 more 1/2 inch pieces on it, and then I'll glass up the rest to get the 2 1/4 thickness I need there for my Mercruiser. And like I said, it's a mess, but they can be fixed. It's not as bad as it looks, really. It's really not, but let's get at it. I'm gonna grind some here, show you what I'm doing.